Welcome everyone to Keyard Podcast episode 5. We're good now, but when we make wine, we go insane. So look out for that. You like that one? You like
is that a sponsor? Or is that just a?
No, I'm getting on to sponsor. That's where the wine comes from. The sponsor. So this episode is brought to you by Dog Penis Vape Juice. No rhyme or reason, just it looks like a dog penis.
Good.
And I got it from down the road, so there's very much all the contacts in the world I could get for that, and I never want to meet them again. So I don't know what's been going on with you, Rob. What's the?
Oh man, well, I can just preface this by saying that I am very hungover again.
Again. You should be like me and be a basement dweller.
As anyone who's watching this from Mosh Talks will probably attest to, because I went into London again last night and met up with my friend Dan, and we went into the Dev in Camden, the Devonshire Arms, for a couple of drinks. I haven't been there since probably February, I would say.
Bloody hell.
And in that time, they've done it up a bit. They've got some pretty sweet stuff. How it worked, obviously, was we had to book beforehand. It was just me and him, so don't worry, Boris. We were in less than 6 people, and we were sitting at this. We were sitting actually at the bar as opposed to on a table, which is quite neat. But if you sit at a bar, you want to order from that position. But I still had to kind of walk around in a line that was taped off, and then get the drinks from there.
I'm sure. If Boris found out, he'd just sit at the bar with you anyway. If he gives you a student talking to, they'll probably last an hour. So I think you're all right there. You get a few pints in beforehand.
No. Nigel Farage, you always see a photo of him in a pub, don't you?
I'm going to say the F word, Farage. Yeah.
But actually, what they had a Guinness pint puller.
Really?
Which had a USB port in, which I was very pleased.
See, when a lockdown happens, that's when people actually discover that technology exists.
Things, yeah. Which the thing is, I was on furlough for so long, and yet in that time I was very uninnovative, shall we say?
I mean, the people who are very techy just go backwards, and the people who aren't very techy go forwards. I mean,
well, it's like even when with furlough, I found it like even being bored and lazing about required effort on my part.
Yeah, I think
it's such a weird thing to say. Maybe it's a psychological thing. It's just like there's no point in getting up and actually even doing the most minimalist type of thing. But I just found myself sitting on my hands quite a lot.
Yeah, the real question is, has anybody missed Jaeger bombs, or are they like, I'm glad I got away from that for months on end?
Oh, yeah. The week beforehand, I went into Uxbridge with Dan, and we went to a mate of ours, mutual friend.
Yeah.
His birthday celebration. We just sat in the park and brought deck chairs and a few drinks. But my mate, Bruce, don't you?
Bruce. Oh yeah, Bruce. Yeah.
Who we camped with last year.
Yeah.
He started to go back to his house and bring Jaeger bombs back with him.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've had it since uni, and the sensation is you never get over. Just how raw it is.
I know. Like, Metros in Cardiff now opened yesterday, and they were fully booked. So that's the place I've missed the most, because it's very much like the underworld of Cardiff, if you will. And I'm just happy to be knowing that it's open, and I have the freedom to go there whenever I want. The thing is, like, before, when I was a student, I'd pre-drink a lot. But as I've gotten older, you get more of an income. Pre-drinking is a bit more, a bit more faint than if you were a student. I don't know if that it's the same on your end. Would you say?
Well, it's become a sort of almost a ritual, really.
Yeah.
Well, I don't pre-drink. Well, it was at uni. I don't pre-drink anymore, really, because I just don't. I always leave things till the last minute.
I
get the last possible train I could get into London, and I usually run to the train station because I know. Again, I'm sitting on my hands and I get distracted by a podcast, and then all of a sudden oh God, it's going to take me 15 minutes to walk. I'm not very good at that sort of thing.
Well, the comedian that I've worked with, Ignacio Lopez, who lives in Cardiff as well, he did have a segment on pre-drinking, and it's just like, so what is this pre-drinking that you all do? So it's you drink to get pissed before you go out to get pissed. So why do you do it? You just buy drinks, get pissed, save time,
money,
and then what you do when you go out? Yeah, you get pissed again.
Yeah, exactly. You drink more.
Yeah.
I was actually gonna. You know what? That's an interesting point you've raised. I was wondering what happened to your because you did a fair bit of stand up, didn't you?
Yeah.
Last year.
It's a mixture of things, really. I think it is quite a saturated market. Like whenever I message people, only a few come back. Some of them say, yeah, we'll book you in, and then others will say, we're full, but after the new year, we've got some stuff lined up. But you know what happened? You know, a lot of stuff got shut down and things.
Yeah.
But a lot of them don't really return the call. So that's why I kind of like went more to YouTube, because I felt like I could do my own thing and not wait on hand for other people to respond back to me, and so I could just continue to do my stuff in my own sort of space and time.
All right, fair. Do you ever like send them a demo reel of your material? Is that what stand up, like people who book stand up for their venues are looking for? Yeah,
it does. It definitely does help get you noticed. Some places just say, yeah, that's fine. We'll book you in. I've already got a video up for that one comedy thing I did, so I normally link that. I might link my YouTube depending on if it's really that relevant, because you know stand-up's a bit different to like just sitting in front of the camera and reacting to stuff on Reddit or doing the top tens. But a lot of the time, I don't know. It's I guess after the whole COVID thing, I didn't really want to do any live streaming events or something, or I just didn't make the time for it, I guess. That's just...
Oh, you know, that's the big news, obviously, with Facebook, is that they're going to stop music live streaming.
Really? Why?
Yeah, I don't know, but basically, my mate Sam wasn't very happy about it because he was streaming a lot of his gigs and stuff, and apparently you can't... I don't know what the black and, the red tape and the whole reading between lines of it is, but as far as I know, it's like you can't like play covers or anything.
I've had that happen more with my covers. Like
I could be wrong.
Well, I used to be.
It's something to do with not Facebook are going to ban live streaming music or something.
That's weird because
I stamp their foot down.
Well, when I was doing still do them, my vocal covers and stuff. I put them up on Facebook as well, because normally YouTube videos don't get noticed on Facebook as much as Facebook videos. And then it was an issue of getting more mutings and stuff like that than I previously did. Whereas YouTube, they more so say there is a claim, we won't take down the video, but any ad revenue you get on this video will go straight to the artist, which is fair enough. And Matt Heafy came out with a video saying it's not down to him. Heafy, yeah, sorry. Saying that it's not strictly down to the artist, it's down to the record labels. Some record labels get owned by higher record labels, and if the top decides they want this stuff taken down, then the lower record labels don't really have a leg to stand on in that sense.
Yeah.
So there's that.
But what can you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Nitz Surge 89, trying to get into a music career nowadays sucks. I mean,
that's kind of why I don't really pursue it as much. I just do what I do on the internet, and I'm not like, I always say like I'm a free agent and stuff like that. But even like I see people around me, like we talked about Milk Teeth not so long ago with their disbanding, and it just
with their disbanding and then Becky having to work these jobs. It's not. I mean, in terms of my own music, in terms of my band, which I'm actually having another rehearsal tonight with them, good lads. We're getting a fair bit of gigs, and we had a bit of momentum going. Before this whole thing hit, but we still weren't. We're kind of getting paid peanuts really for our gigs.
Yeah,
and the rehearsal costs money, and lugging the gear, and yada.
Yeah, I do quite take a bit of a disliking to when a lot of venues like mainly pub venues, do exploit the playing for free and that sort of stuff, or making the
Pay to
band
play.
members pay to
I
play.
almost fell for that last year when I was kind of looking for gigs. There was a woman who, from some agency, who messaged my Facebook page, and I was kind of going, "Oh, I'm actually getting gigs, great, great!" And then show the fine print of this contract thing to my uncle, and he was like, he's a professional musician, and he's like, "No, stay well away from that, mate."
Because the thing is, they're going to put it up on a local Facebook page or something, and that's going to be hardly any exposure as it is, because it's more of a local. Yeah, that's the thing.
Exposure is a horrible word.
It's a very
horrible
trade-off.
A horrible trade-off for your skills, shall we say?
The same sort of thing happened when in my short-lived wrestling days of training. I mentioned about when they were telling us to put up posters and things like that. But I can understand helping them out and stuff like that. But nobody, when you're driving around from one place to an hour away to put posters up, and you're doing that once or twice a week and using up a lot of fuel, and nobody's actually paying you back for that fuel to begin with, it's that whole issue of paying your dues just goes right out the window. And I asked one of my friends who's been in the wrestling business for years, and he said that is a way to exploit the naivety of trainees. It's not paying your dues at all. Yeah, by all means, teach them how to do certain things. But when I came back to Wales and I was training, I did a bit of training over here. There was they put it all on a credit system. If you do decide to help us out putting posters up, then we will simply either give you money for it or give you money off for your next training sessions, which I think happy days. It's
it's a loophole, isn't it? It's kind of like a underhanded type thing to make you more invested, and it's not actually beneficial to you.
Yeah, I did in my video a few months ago of for exposure. When people are like, "Oh, why don't you take free commissions? Okay, enjoy living out on the streets and stuff like that."
Mm-hmm. Dan started a busking career. Our mutual friend Dan, who we went to download with last year, he says he seems to be taking this busking career quite seriously. But he told me an instance where I don't know if I mentioned this on the last podcast, but he was busking and just really late at night after he'd finished the sesh, and he was really drunk, and he decided to take his guitar and go to Angel or somewhere in London, and he was playing for about, I don't know, half an hour, and then he went back, and he looked in his case, sort of thing, 50 quid note.
Oh, nice. No buttons or anything.
It's like these inner city banker types, they just. I don't know who it was. He didn't specify who actually gave him that money, to be fair, but
I remember
50 quid is pretty much I don't even make that at my gigs,
Yeah, I remember getting lost in Angel years and years ago. That was after I saw Mastodon, and I did not understand how night buses worked or where they went. It was just the worst experience of my life. I was trying to get to Penge, where my cousin lived at the time, to stay, because I was staying at his, and I just couldn't get there. By the time I got to his, I had 1% left on my phone. Lucky, so lucky. I didn't get lost.
That speaking of London venues, actually, the Electro Works is on its knees a bit, which is quite sad. It's usually where they have voodoo and stuff, the rock club nights and things.
All right, yeah.
I think it's kind of on its knees at the moment, which is it'll be very sad if that goes as well as a result of this pandemic. The Nitsaj says the play in our pub scam is so demotivating. His band barely takes practice seriously, and they do it for fun more than anything. I guess we kind of do our practice for fun. We don't really take it that seriously either, but we've got such a chemistry now.
Yeah.
Because basically every Sunday of last year, we were using a practice room for free, essentially. A mate of ours, Dad's company, was located out on the sticks somewhere, so there's no noise pollution or anything.
Yeah, I think it's just the principle.
We did it pretty much every Sunday, and then we kind of got really quite tight as a band. And then after a year of this, he was like, "Right, you're going to have to find somewhere else." And we were like, "Fair enough," because we're quite tight at this point. The ones we actually pay for, we kind of do a lot of faffing around. I don't know whether it's going to be the same instance this evening, but
yeah. No.
But just going back to the pub. I mean, just going back to the dev thing. I actually realised it's been so long as well since I went for post-sesh grub.
Yeah.
And specifically, I'm talking about fried chicken shops. And
Okay.
the humble high street fried chicken vendor place.
Down here you got Chippy Lane. You've got to see Chippy Lane. That's the best.
Chippy Lane.
Yeah.
A place where the only greenery you'll find is the salads that are tossed off the kebabs.
Oh, not anywhere else. No euphemisms involved in that.
Yeah, I had one of those for the first time in ages last night, and just realised just how dour the whole thing is.
Wow. I think it's just like, I don't know, like I've ordered plenty of contactless deliveries and things like that, even though they just hand the bag to you. They just stand 1 foot away from you than normal. That's, and then they call it somehow contactless. Yeah, it makes sense. But it's, I don't want to just say it is what it is. I am worried about what is going to happen after lockdown, but I digress. It's neither here or there. But I think we've spoken enough about that. About the whole lockdown.
I think not very interesting, but we made it interesting by our mindless digression into other topics.
Yeah, it is still important.
That's what we're all about here.
And spread the word.
Podcast.
I paid a punch someone in the face if they make me do that, But I'm not a very violent person. That's just more of a passive punch than anything else.
Yeah.
So, in terms of my interesting news, I suppose it's not more of interesting news. It's more of a bragging rights. But there is a reason why I'm wearing a Wales shirt, and you know very well why.
Yeah, I did notice that. I was going to ask if that was a rugby top.
Yeah, I this is all I got. So that,
Yeah, bet.
But all I can say is Bale, Bale.
No, I don't know if I was talking about it. We were probably talking about the inevitability of this transfer last week, but I think he's a fantastic signing.
Oh yeah, like
although I have noticed that he's already injured and he's out for 4 weeks.
That's what I was gonna get onto, because like I know. I have a colleague who knows someone who's close to Bale. So getting the insight for how severe his injury is, it's mainly just a knock on his knee, and it's just like
it seems like everyone in Wales knows everyone.
Yeah, well,
holding absence, and they got a mate who knows Gareth Bale.
Yeah,
probably knew some of the Stereophonics and the Manics back in the day.
But it's just like the thing is, people pick up on these news things on Twitter and then they spread them out of proportion, and then they go, "Oh, he's got to recover for 4 weeks." And I think the reality is, yeah, he's got that knock. He's not completely 100%, but it's not stopping him. It's not stopping him from. It's not stopping him from. Still doing his training, because what Spurs are doing at the moment is getting him
medical. He would have had to pass the medical to get signed. Surely.
I just find it funny that Real Madrid announced nothing about his injury, and then as soon as he comes to Spurs, they're like, "Yeah, he's got an injury." Just like
I think the general consensus is that it's an injury sustained from golf.
No, well,
he's
from Wales,
obviously that's all he's been doing. Yeah, God knows he hasn't been playing football for Real Madrid. He's got to fill his time somehow.
Let me see if I can get some of the memes up, because it is funny. Like, they've got the pictures of they've got the pitch ready for Bale, and they've just got turned it into a golf course.
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium with the bunkers.
Yeah,
I like that one.
I'm just gonna go on to Coys and try and find this stuff out, because it is hilarious. And, there was one of his face on a Gary picture from SpongeBob, and it's like, Gary, come home.
I feel like a Spurs Reddit for me is probably the equivalent of a bunch of garlic or a steak.
Yeah.
For Dracula, or light.
I think they're a lot more. Tame than you see on Twitter, because everyone, someone will say, "Oh, Sergio Reguilon, he's been announced," and then you'll see someone going, "Announce Bale, announce him, we need striker." And it's like, for God's sake! Like I was mentioning last week about Tanganga.
I think it's like just a meme now.
Yeah.
The announced.
All right. So this one. I've heard from anonymous sources that the delay is due to an argument that broke out this afternoon when Dele Alli discovered Bale's favourite chocolate bar is Bounty. Several injured players in the alley have threatened to leave the club. I love it. I'm going to zoom in just so it gives us a lot of space.
Who likes Bounty?
I know. Did you ever see
Anyone in the chat, do you like Bounty?
And if you do, we reserve the right to. I was going to say something violent, but I don't want to be violent.
We like I said, me and Dan had a lot to drink last night. We actually got into an argument about who was the better band out of NSYNC and One Direction.
Oh, that's a no-brainer.
I know, you'd think, but he was trying to desperately make a case for One Direction. I was just like, no, come on,
bloody hell. I don't know. You like your Simpsons Arsenal.
I love my Simpsons Arsenal.
So
it's the best account on Twitter by far. Even if you're not an Arsenal supporter, I highly recommend following Simpsons Arsenal. I actually follow them on Instagram as well. He's got an Instagram page as well.
Yeah.
So well worth a follow. Always top quality content. Always absolutely on the money. And always related to The Simpsons. So what more can you want?
Well, here's
the good seasons as well.
Well, sir, there's nothing on earth like a genuine and bona fide subsidized Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale?
Gareth Bale.
What'd I say? Gareth Bale.
Gareth
That's right,
Bale.
Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale. I hear his wage is awfully high. Real will still pay half, my guy. Isn't he quite injury prone? Fear not, my friend. He's just on loan. They say he just plays golf all day. There's been a putting green at Hotspur Way. If he's so good, why won't we outbid? Because Bale truly is
Go.
The L came off my Bale kit. You'll buy a new one in elite fit. I swear he's Tottenham's only choice. Throw up your hands and raise your voice. Gareth Bale, Gareth Bale, Gareth Bale.
Gareth Bale, Gareth Bale.
Oh,
Gareth
he's an absolute prodigal son. It is the exact story of the prodigal son.
But Tottenham's still all cracked and broken. Sorry, Mum, the fans have spoken.
Oh, here's another one. Okay. Plane tracker, toilet tracker, piss tracker, floor tracker. Because there was like a piss tracker thing. It was like, oh, Sergio and Gareth Bale have gone into the same toilet together.
Well, yeah, Gareth Bale. No, but Gareth Bale. Anyway, I've always liked him as a footballer. Really, I think he's. I always say this about every footballer.
I don't know what it was about.
Fantastic. He's a fantastic player. That Gareth Bale.
He was always a player that I looked up to. I think there is no player I've looked up to more than Bale, if I'm honest. So for
I like that though. Gareth Bale will be the 27th player Tottenham have signed to replace Gareth Bale.
Oh, you mean this? Yeah. It's brilliant, isn't it? That's one of the first ones I saw.
You've had some I can't even remember some of the wingers you've had. You had Soldado at one point, and
don't even get me wrong.
Raphael van der Vaart and Nico Cranchar. Didn't Harry bring in at one point because he always brings in ex-Portsmouth players?
We've had a lot of players that
Modric was obviously half decent, but
yeah, we've had a lot of players that they've played for us for a bit, performed well with us, and then they've either gone to like Arsenal, Man U, or Man City, Real Madrid. Yeah, two players that I know, Real Madrid, and
he could be a catalyst to start your season. I honestly think he's still quality. I don't know how old he is.
He's 31, but that like Aguero's 33.
He's got loads of years left in him then.
Aguero's 33. Aubameyang's older than him, and look how he's playing.
Willian's 32. You know, Alan Davis on the Arsenal podcast was saying about Willian is that for a 32-year-old, he's incredibly physically fit, and he will be going until he's at least 35. He says.
Yeah, I mean, and since he hasn't played for a long time, I think he's got longevity in him.
The further back the pitch you go, the more longevity you have.
Yeah.
So the goalkeepers always, they always last till about 40 or 39.
Yeah.
The further up, and defenders obviously last into their mid-30s sometimes as well. The further up the pitch and the more running you have to do, the less longevity you have.
It's a good thing then that Bale's only played 100 minutes in the last season, so
he's
in that way.
He's probably raring to go. Yeah.
Yeah. There's also this one. Found out where Levy's been doing his shopping. Bale sale up to 50% off. I think they're paying like 40% of his wages. That's what I heard. So
it makes sense.
There was all the drama about Real are trying to offload him to pay the full wages, and you're like, that's not how you're going to get rid of him, guys. So just stop.
Just saw the Plovdiv thing go.
Bloody hell, that game was just a cluster.
Were you nervous? at all?
The reason I was nervous was because if we lose this, we're out of the Europa, and we've got so many more games to go through. And when they scored that goal, I was like, something's got to give, because And then I've heard a lot of news that Mourinho has more confidence in Dombele now, and that is music to my ears, because...
Can I just say, after when you went 1-0 down, was there a part of you that was thinking Mourinho out?
Part of me, I was kind of ranting in my car because I was looking at the news on my phone, and I was just like, I was saying, I was in a rage. I was like, these teammates don't care and blah blah blah. But then it turned itself around. Apparently,
the old reacting in the heat of the moment. I've done that several times.
Yeah, but at least it was in my car, and I didn't post anything on Twitter. I'm just saying it to the world now in a podcast, so that's okay.
But yeah, and was it Ndombele that got the winner?
Yeah, he got the winner. Kane scored the penalty.
Kane scored a penalty,
and
but they were down to 9 men, and
that was their own fault. To be honest,
one of our colleagues in Mosh Talks, in the Mosh Talks Discord, he was saying something about how apparently one of their players was digging up the penalty spot before Kane took his penalty, because obviously there was no footage, there was no camera crew there, and it was all being reported on Soccer Saturday. And apparently, or Soccer Special, what day did they play on?
Thursday, I think.
Oh, okay. It would have been a Soccer Special there. But obviously, there's no camera crew there because in the sticks in Bulgaria. So apparently, one of the Bulgarian defenders was actually digging up the penalty spot.
Yeah,
and that's why he got sent off.
It's just absolutely not on, isn't it? It's just like bloody hell,
ridiculous.
So I'm glad.
But anyway,
for that.
But anyway, you're happy about Bale coming back then?
I am ecstatic. And
I think he'll be a catalyst for your season. I really do.
Yeah, and just to say, I don't want to undermine Reguilon either, because he had a fantastic last season, and just because Bale's coming doesn't mean that I value Reguilon any less. But it's Bale, so who cares? No, I'm joking.
So sorry, my eyes look so heavy. By the way, I do look a bit like Robert Mitchum at the moment, but
what's that?
Maybe I do need more sleep.
How long are we through this? We'll get through the next 4 hours, and then you can have your sleep. So on to other news. I don't think we have any. Yes, we do have transitions, don't we? Because we got a little bit of a game for you this week. Because we are going to. Rob has kindly given me a bunch of photos about in relation to all these signings, and not every person who has signed for a club has shown to be that thrilled about it, and we'll show you in the space of these photos. So this is the first one. There you go, looking as dapper as ever. I'm not sure if he's like, I can't see the shirt.
It's Emmanuel Frimpong, in case you don't know, who played for Arsenal, and he was kind of hailed as the next big thing, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And his bark was substantially worse than his bite, shall we say. And it wasn't soon after that he went out on loan and then eventually was sold to... I don't know if he was on loan to Barnsley or made a permanent transfer there. But, it doesn't really look thrilled to do that, really, does it?
I think he's thrilled. I don't think he's that thrilled with the colour of the shirt. It matches the background too much. I think that's what's going on in his head. I mean,
he's just giving the cameraman a death stare by looks of things, going like, really? It's time for this lot?
He's getting worse and worse as the cameraman saying, no, smile, no, smile.
You know what? Supposedly, there's a tweet. When I looked up this photo, there's a tweet accompanying it from him, allegedly, which was like, how am I going to pull now?
How am I going to... Well, as if you were going to pull before.
As opposed to Arsenal.
It's just like, well, it's not going to be a very good Tinder pick, is it?
No.
Well, so he's out of luck there. Yeah. Anyway, next one, we've got...
right. I've got to give you some context for this one as well. Julien Faubert, in about 2008, played for West Ham. Right?
Yeah.
In the Premier League. And he wasn't getting a game. He was like third choice centre-back or fourth choice centre-back. And out of nowhere, Real Madrid snaps him up on loan.
Right.
And you can tell Alfredo Di Stefano, who's holding the shirt there, who's Real Madrid absolute football legend, scored like something ridiculous, like 400 times for Real Madrid in his career, and you know, I don't know if he's still alive, but back in the day, you know, he might even been honorary club president, but I don't know. But he's at the signing with Faubert there, and he's just thinking, who the hell is this guy? And Faubert is clearly trying to stifle absolute joy and laughter that his agent actually secured him a move to Real Madrid.
I've had enough joy in my years to put up with your shit, son.
He looks like Dom Rickles there, actually.
I don't know.
He's probably going to do a routine about how, I don't know, stand-up routine about it.
I don't know, but he's thinking...
Hey, I signed Julian Faubert accidentally. What you going to do?
He's thinking, well,
That's my really bad Dom Rickles impression.
He's thinking, why are you stealing my 90 away? That was very dear to me. Okay, well, there's that. Then we've got Boyata from Celtic.
You know what? The doorbell might be going. I thought my folks had a key, but I might have to let them in. So just entertain the audience yourself, and I'll be back in a minute.
Okay.
It's so unprofessional. I'm so sorry, but I do have to get the door.
Okay. No pressure. Anybody want a dog penis at all? No. Just looking around the room a second. See if I can do any song covers of insane metal. Oh, Rob, you're back!
I'm back. Sorry about that. I thought they didn't have a key and they were
false alarm was it?
False alarm, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, back to the agenda. So, have you got the picture up?
I have. There it is. Boyata.
Yeah, so this is Diedrich Boyata, who played for Man City. He just looks confused more than anything.
He's like, I don't remember winning all these trophies.
It's like he's sort of been transported using one of those like machines that you get in the Fly.
Oh God, yeah. That
and the Celtic shirt is kind of fused to him, and he's kind of like, oh my God.
He's like, bloody hell, I was sponsoring Etihad, but now I'm sponsoring bloody Magnus. What the well, I may as well get drunk over this.
Mind you, he should have what he should have done is looked behind him and spotted the European Cup and gone, oh yeah, actually this might be a good decision.
And then it's like, that's from the 80s. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake.
70s, man?
70s or 80s, I don't know. I was just making up a year.
I can't remember when the last time Celtic. I don't follow Scottish football, surprisingly.
Okay, next one. That is
unfortunately, I don't know who this is, but again, he just looks utterly contemptible.
It just looks like, we're all booked up in the studio, so we'll have to take this photo at your nan's house.
Yeah, this is the grandfather clock in the background.
I love that. He's like, well, that's my time running out.
This is a Scunthorpe shirt, I believe. So, yeah, you know what word is in the middle of Scunthorpe, don't you?
Oh yeah, the C word. Okay, see you next Tuesday.
So no wonder he's not very thrilled about that.
No, I guess that.
But yeah, grandma's house is a good shout. Yeah.
That wallpaper. I know we're talking about football, not aesthetics or DIY, but who designed or who came up with the idea of putting that wallpaper on? And is that supposed to have something there in that picture?
That looks like a picture with nothing in it. That just looks like an empty frame.
It's Mr. Krabs' first dollar.
Anyway, there's that. Okay.
Oh yes.
He thought he was. He thought he was signing for Liverpool, didn't he? No.
You should know who this is. Being a Spurs fan, I'm testing your Spurs knowledge here.
Theo Walcott.
No. Theo Walcott. He didn't even play for Spurs.
I'm quite a recent Spurs fan, so I'll admit.
Of course, glory. Although then again, there's no glory to hunt, so I don't know why you bothered. No, this is Aaron Lennon.
Loophole. It's Lennon.
No, Aaron Lennon signing for Everton, and I mean this is probably the apex of miserable footballer photos.
He looks like. It looks like a prison sentence based on that background. Oh no! It's blue tiles. I thought it was like
it looks like
metal
a swimming
bars.
pool. It looks like a swimming pool. He's like Oh no, you're not actually playing for the Everton first team. You're playing for the Everton affiliated ladies swimming team.
Well, what a coincidence! Because I'd rather drown than be in this predicament.
Yeah. That's genuinely what he looks like. He looks like he'd rather be anywhere else.
Oh dear! Come back to Spurs. Can't now, but
He was a good little player. He was basically your Theo Walcott.
yeah.
He was a pacey little winger, and I think he went to Burnley after this.
Yeah, like I've always
He might
heard his
still
name.
be at Burnley. I don't know.
I've always heard his name, but I just never Googled what he looked like or
What he looked like.
yeah,
Yeah.
So it is what it is, and Spurs fans are gonna have a go at me and say you're not a real Spurs fan, but Gareth Bale, shut up.
In fairness, right, if you'd have shown me a picture of like Gabriel, for instance, our new signing, I couldn't tell you exactly what he looks. I couldn't pick him out in a lineup.
Yeah, it looks like.
Although, ironically, this looks like you said, that Aaron Lennon is being picked out of a lineup for mass murderer.
He actually looks like Troy Deeney before everything went to shit.
There's a great photo of Troy Deeney that I've got to I've got to show you later on.
All right.
My mate George, who's an Arsenal fan, I'm a member of University of Kent Gooners Group.
Yeah.
And you know that whole comment that Troy Deeney made about Arsenal lacking cojones?
Yeah.
Every time we win against Watford or Watford lose, like heavily, or if they got relegated, he'd post this same picture of Troy Deeney after every loss.
He's quite opinionated, isn't he, Troy? When he's in interviews, I've seen.
He's just he knows it's easy to wind up Arsenal fans. So good on him, I say.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Next one.
He's well. This isn't so miserable. It's just like what. He's the one who's realised what it actually says in the middle of Scunthorpe.
You know what? This might not even be Scunthorpe, so I feel like my joke might have fallen flat. I have no idea what shirt that is. It might even be Scottish football.
Looks like.
But then
that looks like a Scottish sponsor.
Again, like Scottish football, like you're signing for a lower league Scottish team who isn't Celtic or Rangers. You're obviously going to think, how the hell am I meant to win trophies in this outfit? You know?
It's brilliant. I love it.
But like he just looks again, he looks like he's seen a ghost. He looks like, I know, like someone is like his ex-girlfriend is taking the photo or something.
And she's like, just before she said, say cheese. Oh, and I fucked your brother.
Yeah. It's Ryan Giggs' missus.
Oh god. He's like, Robbie Savage said what? Oh, okay. Next one. Oh, now that is the most miserable face. It's like, I'm glad they upgraded their logo.
Because this is Robert Hoof of Leicester. He just looks like he's hungover.
Yeah.
He looks like me today.
Just watched kids football team, the youth, and he's like, well, I wish my team was as good as this.
Yeah, he's just got he got very heavy set eyes there.
Yeah. I don't know. The sun is quite bright in his face, but it's not directly in his eyes. But
he also looks like he's at Aintree or like a horse racing or a greyhound race. It doesn't look like a football pitch.
Yeah, he's like, I lost my £5,000.
Yeah, you lost a bet. Now pose with this shirt.
Hello. If you like us, then follow my Facebook, follow my Twitter, follow my Google Plus that doesn't exist anymore. Follow my YouTube and my Instagram.
Yeah.
Before it gets bought by Facebook. Okay.
Anyway.
Land the last one, and this is when you're like, this is not good posture whatsoever.
Colo.
Colo
Torre.
Colo.
Yeah, that is Colo.
Why the long face?
I don't know. That it just hit the way his arms are positioned.
It's like he's no, I won't say that.
He looks drunk. He looks drunk in the fact, like one eye looks kind of lower than the other.
He's about to melt, like, or something.
Yeah,
he's about to turn into cider.
You know, you get footballers that pose like, you know.
Yeah, they're happy about joining their club, but he's just like,
look at me in my club shirt, or hands behind the back, rather neatly. But no, this one's just you know, like two bloody, I don't know, strawberry laces hanging down.
Yeah, I wish we could just go all. I think he's like, well, is somebody going to get rid of the umbrella in the background or what? This is totally unprofessional.
He looks like actually his mum has taken away his strawberry laces and he's having a hissy fit about it.
Nobody takes away my strawberry laces.
Yeah. I don't want to go to school this morning.
I don't want to train. I just want to play Pro Evo. I heard it's the better game this year.
Yeah.
Oh, I've spent all my winnings on FIFA cards.
Polo, legend. Invincible, I think you'll find.
Oh, bloody hell. Yeah, so that's all the pictures that we've got to show you. Oh my god, that's just wonderful.
I think that was a good idea. If I did say something.
I think it was wonderful, if I'm honest. Yeah. Anyway, so that's it for the football. We've got we're gonna do a little bit of a little one because I think Rob, you sent this to me the other day, and I was quite excited about it as well. So what we're gonna do. Give a bit of background on it, and then we're going to play a bit of a sneak peek, and then just give our thoughts on it afterwards. So, what is your summary of this Corey Taylor event?
Yes, so I found out about this event via Bees from Mosh Talks, obviously, who is hosting this show, and good on him because he's just made partner on Twitch, so I'm very delighted about that.
Yeah, lush.
But essentially, Corey Taylor. Frontman of Slipknot and Stone Sour, who are on definite hiatus at the moment, is releasing his first solo album, CMFT, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And to build up this event, he's actually doing a live stream from the Forum in Los Angeles. And him and his band, they'll be making history on October 2nd with a global live stream from the legendary Los Angeles venue to celebrate the release of his debut solo album. Tickets and VIP packages for this historic stream event are on sale now. It's titled Forum or Against Him. You see what he did there? He likes a pun as well, Corey, as do I. It will feature a full arena production complete with visual feast of pyrotechnics, stack set list featuring all tracks from CMFT. So he's playing the album in full. Select cuts from Slipknot and Stone Sour, handful of covers, and a guest performance from the Cherry Bombs. It says a special pre-show will kick off 1 hour before the event, featuring exclusive interviews and behind-the-scenes footage. I'm quite hyped for this. He's also got an abundance of merch available for this event.
Yeah, I haven't,
including a wrestling title belt,
which
says CMFT on it.
All right. So with all that said, here we go. I've got it up on the screen. So let's take it away. Here we go.
Now, hopefully, the sound comes through on this.
Oh, good.
I hear no sound.
Don't worry about it. CMFT must be stopped.
The first time I played the Forum was 2001. It was right after 9/11 that happened. It was crazy things were happening. The air was really thick with some tension. People needed the show. They needed that release, and it feels a lot like right now. People need music like this in their life. People need something to look forward to like this. From a personal standpoint, I've been waiting my whole life to play this show. It represents me as a person, it represents me as an artist, it represents me as an entertainer. This is not the typical solo Corey Taylor show. This is not acoustic. This is a full band show, full production, full pyro, full lights, full music, full everything. Just when you thought you were going to be able to figure out what this is, you don't, because it has so many different elements, so many different things that are coming together to make this incredible. If you're going to go small, get the hell out of here. You either go big or you go home, or you don't get anything at all.
Juicy. Wow. Well, Rob, are you gonna get any tickets for this, or?
Okay, so yeah, tickets for this are on sale Right now, I believe, and they are £11.57. If you're interested, don't know what that is in dollars.
Very good price, yeah.
Mm.
Any?
But this is going to be interesting because obviously it's his solo project, and he's doing a full band rather than just because he's done acoustic shows in the past / Q&As. But that's obviously a completely different kettle of fish to having a full band behind you.
Yeah, of course.
Whether it's going to be a band of prominent musicians or studio guys or people you'd heard of, people you haven't heard of, it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, like, I sadly missed Trivium's gig. I saw like a replay of it, but I saw their deepest cuts, and I was just in an interview with someone before this podcast. Actually, I didn't mention it to you before. I wanted to keep it on the high rep now. Just someone asking for my experiences with Download, actually, because they were doing like a university project, and I think one of the things I was mentioning was like at the Download time, not as many bands had embraced that whole idea of virtual concerts, and it's getting more and more popularized now, and people are seeing how they can actually, make some sort of flourish out of it, and people
and support the artists.
And there's a lot of support going through for the artists. So I'm really happy to see this sort of stuff get played, and and the return value on it is really good. You get to see like a high production set at home on your screen, and for £11.50 that's really good, considering like to pay for a football match it's like £30 for a day pass or something. This is a bargain. So
you know what, I feel like he probably would have charged more if this was actually happening in real life, but
oh yeah, of course.
Fact is, it's just a nice thing to support him and everything, and I just think it's going to be interesting, what his set is going to consist. What Slipknot songs in particular are going to manifest themselves in this sort of way into his solo stuff. Is he going to strip the songs back? Is he going to deconstruct them and then put them back together again as sort of different songs? Obviously, Snuff, a song like that might be, the exception, because that works as a. But Slipknot has this kind of idiosyncratic sound about them.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And what is a Corey Taylor solo version of something like Wait and Bleed or Duality going to sound like? I'm not saying those are the two songs I would choose, but
it's going to be that country version of Spit It Out that he's done in his solo projects, I reckon.
Yeah, that's absolute genius. Afternoon Tomorrow Payload. Sorry that I was talking over that. It's just we actually couldn't hear that in our earphones, and I was just going, we can't hear it, Kieran.
Yeah,
what's going on? So sorry about that.
I think I can hear it on mine, and it's definitely can be heard on the stream. Just like sound. I'm still trying to figure out how I can play sound to you, Rob. That's the only thing. So
yeah, well we'll work that out at some point.
Yeah.
That's Corey Taylor's forum or against him, and good stuff.
Okay.
It's going to be interesting.
All right. Well, next on the agenda, and it's something that we've not really, I think... How are we looking for time, Rob?
Well, it's 3:00 now. We started at... when did we start? Like 5 minutes past?
Yeah. So do we want to cover Download now, or do we want to go cover that next week? If we're better... Because that'll probably take us about 20 minutes, I imagine.
Yeah, that's true. I'd rather... Yeah, we'll leave it till next week, Downloads.
Okay.
Actually.
All right, we'll make that a promise then.
But we promise we will get to it. I know we keep teasing it every week, but, KB has wanted to condense these podcasts so we don't waffle on about nothing for an hour and a half.
Not just me, but you know what I mean. It's like...
Shall I get to my segment? My usual music-based segment. Well, I say usual. I came up with it last week, of the anagrams.
Mm-hmm.
So you suggested for me, because last week I did anagrams for all the members of Trivium.
Yes.
Just because.
Yeah.
Just because.
Just because.
And this week you gave me Metallica.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a drag just to help myself laugh a bit more. Even though, not that I'm gonna laugh. Not gonna laugh.
What are you suggesting? Are you suggesting this segment doesn't work? How dare you?
Oh, of course it works. I mean, where else would we get Hey Fat Matt from?
Yeah, Hey Fat Matt was the one, wasn't it, last week?
That's what made it.
Can I just say, actually, before I go on, and I know I'm digressing, but thank you to the nearly 200 people that watched our Orbit Culture Reacts thing on YouTube. It's by far our best, our most popular video at the moment.
Yeah, surprisingly, because like I don't know, like it's just that one video that just shot up in views for some odd reason, but
people like that band. You know, clearly I need to check out their album.
Yeah.
Which I promised myself I would do, but there you go. But anyway, Metallica. We both like Metallica.
Yeah. So we've got Metallica Anagrams. Last week, as you said, we did the Trivium ones with all the names. So take it away, Rob. What have we got for each band member?
Okie dokie. Right. Well, James Hetfield, frontman, vocalist, all-around badass.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. You know what? If I'd have made it James with a Y, which obviously is not how his name is spelled, putting a Y after the A, I could have actually put the word yeah in it.
Oh, really?
But I decided that would be cheating, so I went for the conventional way of spelling it. So you have, for James Hetfield, Fedley Shit Jam.
Fedley. That's like
So
the lowest of the low country bands or something.
Well, if you have a mate called Lee who comes over to your house to taste your conserves, and you unfortunately have the apricot flavoured one as opposed to the strawberry flavoured one.
Or the shit
you would have
flavoured
to force him. You would have to feed him your shit jam.
Okay.
Do you have any mates called Lee?
Lee? No.
Okay, moving on. You have Hit Jam Ed Fleas.
Hit the jam, pump up the jam, pump it up.
And then a guy called Ed walks out in utter despondency, and the fact that he's playing Metallica.
Oh, poor Ed.
Hit the jam. This is an interesting one. Jade Fleshmite.
Ugh. That's
you have a fleshmite.
That's more of a disgusting word than moist.
What, flesh?
I misheard it. I thought you said felch.
No, flesh.
Felch.
Oh, no. That is up there with felch.
I don't think that registers on YouTube demonetization rule.
Use that word in?
I don't know.
But yeah, I guess I know. Say you're in the pyramids of Giza.
Did you say urine?
What?
Did you say urine?
You were in.
Oh.
Yeah, you urinated in the pyramids.
Just messing with you.
Oh my word, it's going off the rails. Jades is say you were in the pyramids of Giza and you found a precious stone, a jade if you will, and then suddenly a flesh-eating mite came up.
Flesh-eating sugar repellent.
And started attacking you. This next one.
Oh God, what have we got?
Can I just apologise in advance? But it made me really, really laugh. Jihads meet elf.
What? That is an unexpected jihad. Will Ferrell's not going to be very pleased.
Will Ferrell just wasn't expecting it, you know what I mean? Wow. And finally, I've got one more. And I saved this one for last because it actually is quite appropriate for what happened to James back in 1991, where he was burned by his own pyrotechnics.
Oh, okay.
During a gig co-headlined with Guns N' Roses, which started off the infamous Montreal riots. But it's Jet's Hide Flame.
Ooh. So is that what people call him in Montreal now? Or?
Jet's Hide Flame. The flame was very clearly hidden.
Wow.
Okay, so Lars Ulrich, the second founding member of Metallica, and everyone loves Lars Ulrich, right?
Yeah. I can't get enough of his
I
sweet rhythms.
I love Lars Ulrich. I think he's just the fact that he's got so far with what little skill he has, but also his aptitude as a businessman, you know?
Sorry, I'm just putting in unnecessary fills for you talking there.
I thought those are an accurate representation of the St. Anger drums, to be fair.
Why is the computer not working?
Yeah. because you downloaded Napster. That's why your computer's not working. Mm-hmm. We love you, Lars. We love you.
I can imagine his font like being like, or his text like having random capital letters each time because he's got unnecessary shifts in each part of his essays.
Do you think Lars' jokes are even funny anymore?
Only when I make them.
Well, like that really just. You know, I feel
sounded
like it's
exactly
been
like Sid Dagger. That was funny.
Wait, what?
Just Jam in the chat sounds exactly like Sid Dagger. There we go. They're still funny.
Yeah, still funny. Thanks for tuning in, Jam. Appreciate it. Yeah, so only one anagram for Lars.
Okay, well,
little lovely Lars.
That's the only one we need.
I guess it could work to describe the man himself. Liar's Lurch.
Liar's Lurch.
Because he's quite a small kind of humpbacked sort of guy when he walks, sort of thing. At least in the caricatures of him.
If he was a liar, though, he would have went, he didn't quit the band!
Yeah. Yeah, whatever. Liar's Lurch. That's the one good anagram I found for Lars Ulrich. Kirk Hammett.
All right.
Yeah, guitar player extraordinaire. I was going to make a wah pun, but I couldn't think of it.
Wow.
And again, who cares? So let's say if you were a guy named Mark, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you dealt in amphetamines.
Yes.
But they came in a special dispensation box. Then you would be Meth Kit Mark.
What a reputation to have.
What a reputation to have.
That's like if Walter White just went underground. Say my name. Meth Kit Mike. That's correct.
And now for the other ones, I struck gold because I added his middle name, which, believe it or not, is Lee.
Lee. Oh, Kirk Lee Hammett.
Kirk Lee Hammett. There we go. That is a Lee that we know.
We know personally, yes.
Segue. We don't know him personally, unfortunately.
Yes, we do.
I've got to say, just before I get on in defence of Lars, right, I do think he's a genuinely good guy because there's a guy who I know who he knew in Canterbury who he didn't have any legs, right? He had prosthetic legs.
What?
And he was a big metalhead and he was drinking in Lady Luck with us, right? And I found a video on YouTube. It's a meet and greet that they do before their concerts, and they have it on Met Club. And he met Lars, and Lars actually offered for him to go on stage with Metallica.
I've seen him do stuff like that. See, I've there was that video.
He seems
of them.
quite like a philanthropic kind of character,
yeah.
Even though his reputation in the past probably suggests he can be a bit of a crescent.
I think. Times, you know? Yeah, I mean. When it comes, I think there's been a lot of drama within the band, but when it comes to handling stuff outside the band, besides from the Napster thing, I won't get into that because that's been talked about to death. I think he seems quite genuine. I remember seeing a video of him helping to set up a proposal on stage in the middle of their concert.
Yes,
I've seen that.
I've seen that very video. It's brilliant.
Yeah. So
it's just James in the background going, "Wouldn't it be funny if the guy says if she says no?"
He's very blunt.
But yeah. Anyway, I had a lot of luck with Kirk Hammett by adding his middle name. So Kirk Lee Hammett. So let's say Mark has given up his job selling amphetamines out of a dispensation box, and instead he's doing a line in dating. But
so
he also sells this dating.
He's moved up in the world.
He sells this dating kit out of a special dispensation box, the Make Her Melt kit. So,
what was that one? Make Her Milk?
Make Her Melt.
Make Her Melt.
As in,
Oh,
yes. If you give me meth, I'll give you head.
Oh, God, I didn't want to go that far.
That'll be the Tinder.
You had to go there.
That's
really
what
had to go there.
It's in relation to Tinder.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, we'll move on. But the one that made me laugh the most from Kirk Lee Hammett. Are you aware that certain animals can lactate? right?
Yeah, me.
Yeah, you have nipples, Greg. But what you might not know is that you can actually milk the meerkat.
What? That's a Kirk Hammett.
That's Kirk Lee Hammett. Milk the meerkat.
Okay, that's probably my favourite one. Oh, jeez.
Don't ask me how I came up with it. Oh. Right.
This is from Most Women in Leighton. I like that one.
Yeah. Anyway, Robert Trujillo, or Rob Trujillo, awesome awesome bass player, seemingly awesome dude. He always seems to be like one of the nicer people in the music business.
He's my favourite orangutan in the entire world.
That clip where he's playing, was it All Nightmare Long or something?
Something like that. He's just hopping around the stage, like kneeling down.
And he goes, to the camera. But anyway, you can have for Rob these. I probably shouldn't have saved these for last, to be fair, because these are probably the most boring. But if you're in a courtroom, right, and there is a member of the jury who is being a bit of a, he's winding the court up slightly.
Mm-hmm.
But say you were in the you're in the dock and you were giving your testimony, but you were getting a bit fed up, and your name was Luis Suarez. You would go over and you would bite juror Troll.
I don't want to bite any troll, thank you very much.
You also have an occasion where this said member of the jury might be kind of out of his head a bit, and you also were tempted to throw him out of the courtroom, literally throw him out of the courtroom, and you would lob lit juror. It's always very difficult when you have names with J's in them. It's very difficult. Yeah, it's very difficult when you have names with J's in them, right? And the last one, just because he is of Spanish descent, you have Burrito Jet Roll.
Burrito Jet Roll. That's like a new Lucha Underground finishing move.
Or I guess you can roll Jet's Burrito. So if you're on a private plane and you're a bit peckish, you would roll a burrito.
We're experiencing some turbulence at the moment. Oh no, I dropped my burrito, come back!
Yeah, exactly. Right, so that wraps up the Metallica Anagrams anyway. I don't know how I'm making a segment out of this absolute codswallop. But
well, you're doing a good story. That's we should continue with the stories.
To go along with it.
Yeah.
Right, I promise next time when I come up with these anagrams, I'll think up of a good story to associate with these rather than just making them on the fly, which is what I've been doing.
You're going to have to set the bar really high because that was the highest I've ever seen it. So
brilliant. I'm glad these seem to be working. But
yes.
All right. Give me another band for next week.
How about we say one now? And I am going to say, why don't we go with Slayer?
Slayer. Nice.
See what we can get out of Kerry King and Jeff Hanneman.
Probably not that much, to be fair, but I'll go and see what I can do.
Well, should we cover the ex-members as well, or should we just... Oh, we'll have to, because we'd have to cover Dave Lombardo as well.
I mean, the classic Slayer... I think the classic, Slayer lineup with Tom Araya, Kerry King, Jeff Hanneman, and Dave Lombardo.
Yeah, that would be totally fine with me.
I will come up with some for those.
Okay, sounds good.
Right, now the music news.
Okay.
Should we get on to this?
Are we on Listen to This now, or...?
Yes, we're on Listen to This.
Okay.
Which is our regular recurring segment where I give Kieran a tune to listen to, and he in return gives me a tune to listen to.
Okay.
This could be from any band, anytime, any place, anywhere.
And the interesting thing about number 5 is because when I've been updating the YouTube with the clips of this, I've been adding the songs on top. And originally I was a bit worried that maybe it would get muted or something like that. But in terms of us just providing our commentary and stuff like that, it's fair within the lines of fair use. So...
Yes. Yeah, for those, by the way, who are... I've seen a few naysayers about the way we do this. I mean, one, it's a copyright thing.
Mm-hmm.
And two, we don't just want to be one of these reactors who doesn't actually react to something.
I mean, like,
the whole point of reacting to something is to give feedback on what we're listening to. If you want to listen to the actual song, go and listen to the actual song.
Yeah,
it's not that hard. We have reacts in the title. You know?
Exactly. So, just go off, and there's no reason to post a comment.
We had actually Orbit Culture Fan who gave us the horns.
Yeah. And
pretty awesome.
Yeah, there's always going to be naysayers and that sort of thing, and I think the video got two dislikes, and then one of the dislikes got removed. So I guess they backtraced a little bit. I suppose, I don't know.
Saw the error of their ways.
Yes. But let's think about happier times. So we're going with you first. Are we, Rob?
Okay. So I'm giving you a tune, right?
Can I give you a tune, please?
Okay, you give me a tune.
So, Rob. If that's your real name. I don't know why I even said that. So, I don't know if you've heard of a band called Toothgrinder at all.
The name rings a bell, but I couldn't tell you what sort of music they make.
So the genre is a mix of progressive metal, metalcore, and post-hardcore. They're part of Spinefarm Records, featuring members
my boys, they're on Spinefarm.
Yeah, so... members of Justin Matthews, Wills Weller, Jason Goss, Matt Arensdorf, and Jonuel Hasney, and they hail from Asbury Park in New Jersey. They a few years ago released their second studio album, Phantom Armor, and they've only just last year released another album featuring the song "I Am" on it, or "IAM," whichever one you want to say. And they also supported Trivium a few years ago. I think this was along the time when The Sin in the Sentence just came out. So
great album.
They do have like that nice mix of intensity and those sweet sort of Alice in Chains style hooks that you'd hear. So
always love an Alice in Chains style hook.
So in order to sync up with the song, we are going to I'm going to play it on my Spotify so the lovely listeners can hear. And whenever you press go, let's give me the signal, and I'll start playing, and then you can give me the feedback. Have you got it ready for you?
So the tune is called "I Am." Did you say
IAM? So all spaces.
IAM, yes, and it's from their album of last year. So. 3, 2, 1, go. I like the riffage.
Yeah, that's what I love about it so much.
It's sort of very groove orientated.
You know me, I've been doing all the heavy stuff lately, but a bit of a step back.
Oh, I like the bass tone as well in the background. It's very, very clunky, very metallic. Yeah, kind of fit. Oh, interesting production on this.
I love his voice as well.
Yeah, he's got that sort of quite nice sort of tenory, holding absency sort of way of singing.
Like Phantom Armor is such a good album, and so is this as well. They just got an amazing back catalogue. They've had 3 albums so far.
Good harmonies in the chorus, yeah. But it's that swell, it's that electronic swell which makes it sound quite kind of modern.
Yeah, and very trancey as well. It's perfect for your shoegaze fantasies.
Oh yeah, like this is. I wouldn't call this shoegaze. I would say it's more falls under the line of progressive metal.
Yeah.
Just from a production standpoint, sounds very kind of tight and very methodical. That riffing, as opposed to the ethereal kind of riffing of shoegaze.
Yeah.
I'm getting post-grungy sort of vibes to it as well, like Breaking Benjamin or something like that. But maybe not Breaking Benjamin, maybe bad example, maybe something like Seether or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not being derogatory because I like that stuff, so.
Just like a progressive Seether. Yeah. Could call it that. This was the wrong shirt to wear.
Oh, is that violins?
And
Those church bells. Interesting. Ding, ding, ding. Sounds like some violins in the background. Interesting bridge here. I wonder if live they'll do that with actual violins and church bells. Just bring like a massive church bell.
No, they downgrade and they bring a triangle on.
Ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding.
Triangle. Who's that other band that I'm thinking of? Starset, maybe? There's sort of a very...
Oh, yeah, Starset.
Oh, I'll tell you what, that scream just then, that was very Ben Burnley, the sort of... "Roar" type thing.
They do have some screaming, but this song has mostly cleans.
With a bit electronical kind of elements in there, all intertwining. Good stuff. Yeah, that wasn't bad. So that was I Am from Toothgrinder.
Yeah.
That was good. That's good.
Yeah. Would you be enticed to check out more of this stuff?
Yeah, maybe. It's not the sort of stuff I would usually listen to. I think. You know?
Yeah.
But it's definitely got something about it. You know.
Yeah.
I like the song titles on this album as well. The new punk rock, Too Soft for the Scene. Can You Live Today with an umlaut, which is obviously very heavy metal, and Shiver with a capital V. I mean, these guys are, you know, yeah.
Shiver me livers. Yeah.
Shiver me. Or is that Shiver? Is the
Shiver.
emphasis on the V or the I?
Possibly.
Who knows?
I'm not too sure.
I'm talking absolute bollocks. Let's move on.
So my song, Rob, because
Yes. So yes, my choice for you, sir. One of my favourite bands of all time, Deftones, released their latest single, Genesis, from their upcoming album, OMS, which is due to release on the 26th, I believe. I need to get this information up. But yeah, essentially, they released OMS, right? And I thought it was okay. You know, it kind of took me a while to grow on me. Whereas this song was a lot more instantaneous with its impact, you know?
okay, well, that sounds exciting to me.
How familiar are you with, like, Deftones?
Songs like Hole in the... is Hole in the Wall one of the songs?
Hole in the Earth.
Hole in the Earth, sorry, yeah. Well, I guess that sums it up for
And
my
there's
knowledge of
Hole in the Earth and
Deftones.
Beware the Water.
So
you probably get those two mixed up. They're from the same album, Saturday Night Wrist, which there is a bit of elements of that album in this tune.
yeah,
They've gone for the ethereal kind of... The track that stands out the most that this reminds me of is Rosemary from Koi no Yokan,
right,
which is one of probably my favourite Deftones songs, so that helps.
yeah,
But yeah, just they released a music video with this, directed by Sebastian Kirchhoff, and a special live performance direction from Clement Reese, flashing, distorted, monochromatic view of the band playing it. It was shared on Friday, and comes just 4 weeks after they announced their forthcoming album with the release of the title track OMS. And I'm very much looking... I've already pre-ordered this album. It's going to be produced by Terry Date.
that already screams funkiness to me.
Yeah, Terry Date produced White Pony and Around the Fur for Deftones.
Did you actually, in sort of like slight news, did you see that they re-released Pantera's Reinventing the Steel album with the Terry Date mix?
I did see that. I did indeed, yeah. In fact, I think Jam in the chat was talking about it.
Yeah.
I have yet to listen to it yet, but I'm keen.
Okay.
I'm very keen.
So Genesis, you said.
Yes, it's called Genesis. Just to quickly wrap this up. So the 10-track record OMS, which is their new studio album, is coming out on September 25th, like I said. And Chino opened up on the reflective lyrics of the is this the title track or this one? Oh, come on. Where's he talking about Genesis? Well, I'll leave you to cement your feelings on this tune anyway.
I shall. All right. This is Genesis by Deftones. Ooh, bit of
as you can see,
styrophones.
Yeah. Someone said, someone in the Deftones, in the chat for this song, on their official music video, was saying, let's get rid of the mosquitoes. It's too many mosquitoes. It does a buzzing noise, but it just dates back to Diamond Dies and Saturday Night Wrist sound, Cornelio Can, obviously. There's elements of gore in this, I think, as well.
Yeah, okay.
But it will kick in a minute.
I'd be livid if this is for the whole song.
It's an ambient piece. Well, they've done it in the past, but I like their ambient output. That is my favourite Deftones for me.
Okay.
Around the Fur is great, and when it was when White Pony when they released White Pony and they added all the electronic elements. Frank Delgado, who is the most underrated member of any band ever, I think he brings such a soundscape to their output. So what are you making of this so far?
It's good.
He's got that sort of gore scream still with him, as opposed to his more sort of raw self-titled screams.
Okay, and just try and digest it. I like the sort of like rocking my head back and forth. That's cool.
I really like this chorus though.
I like it's a bit freestyle as well.
Harmonies in the chorus are just top notch. You were mentioning Alice in Chains earlier. I feel like it definitely has elements of that in play. And of course, they collaborated with Jerry Cantrell on their last album for the song Phantom Bride from Gore, which is an amazing tune. In fact, last night at the Dev, I got the barman to play this song.
Oh, yeah?
He wasn't taking requests or anything, but he was just like, I guessed the song Bored from Adrenaline when he played it out loud. Instantaneously, it's like, oh, we heard their new song, Genesis. No, oh, it's really great, man. You should play that out loud. He goes, yeah, fair enough. We should play it. So it was nice of him. But yeah, I just like the fact that Steph has kind of more presence in the guitars on this record as well.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
With Gore, it was more about. I think the soundscaping stuff kind of dominated the proceedings, whereas this one you've actually got the kind of riffs firmly set in stone.
Okay. This will probably help me get into Deftones more or less.
Right. Okay. What, this song, do you mean?
Well, this album, I suppose.
The album. Nice. Have you seen that they're also making beer now, Deftones?
No, I've not.
What? Yeah, White Pony IPA. They're all IPAs, but they're from Belching Beaver. This company, this independent company.
They got
in the United States.
beaver in it. Did you say?
No, that's the name of the company. It's called the brewery. The brewery is called Belching Beaver. It's in the United States. So unfortunately, as much as I desperately want to try one, I'm probably going to have to import them, and it's probably going to cost a bit. Okay. But they have Phantom Bride Pale Ale. They have White Pony Pale Ale. And there was another one whose name escapes me.
Ooh, I like this part.
Is this the bridge part?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's atmospheric. I think that's the thing I neglected to take into account with Deftones was the sort of atmospheric side of them.
Well, if you stop listening after Around the Fur, where this was before Frank became a full-time member, then you really won't have that much context about Deftones' sound now and how they've evolved.
Yeah.
Obviously, Around the Fur had if you only know stuff like My Own Summer Shove It or Be Quiet and Drive, Bored or Birthmark from their first album, tunes like that, they've definitely developed their sound over the years and honed it and matured it to where it is today, as opposed to just being one of many post-hardcore / new metal band lost in the ether, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas now they're very much lost in the ether in a positive way. With their electronic atmospheric experimentation, which I'm just a sucker for. I just love it whenever they go full-blown atmospheric, you know?
Yeah. Just try and listen to this end bit now. I like that, yeah.
I just love Chino's voices. Chino is like, if I was at a dinner party and I could invite 4 famous people to attend my dinner party, living or dead, he would definitely be one of them. He's just such a cool cat, and we'll probably get into Download stories later. But one of the greatest moments of my life happened at Download 2016 when during their set, when he got up to the barrier and I helped him up onto the barrier. You can find the video on YouTube, and he was like singing the whole bridge section of Around Fur right like up to my face, pretty much here. Mind you, his crotch was kind of in my face as opposed to his actual face, because I was holding him up like this on the barrier. But he's on my YouTube channel. If we could probably link it in.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and link it. All right. So that was Deftones with Genesis, and like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of Deftones for the long run, but I've heard Ohms and I've heard this, and I think I might have a newfound love for them. I think as well, in the last few years I have listened to a bit more, sort of shoegazy, that sort of stuff, and I never really was a fan of it before. So I think with my music taste change, Deftones would fit in well with that.
Teenage Wrist you showed you, didn't you?
Yeah. So I think.
See, I've always been a sucker for that sort of like anything that's like kind of that takes me away to another place, particularly when I'm driving. Driving at night, there's nothing better than listening to a good bit of atmospheric metal or atmospheric rock or shoegaze or anything like that,
Yeah. No, it's not. So yes, that is the.
I'm glad.
What's that? Sorry.
You like that tune then?
I do. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad.
I'm trying to compete with the sun shining in my face at the same time, though.
I can totally see. A lot of people in our Mosh Talks community that we had a Deftones tournament over there. And there was a lot of kind of detractors or guys that just never really heard Deftones before. And I can totally see it being an acquired taste, especially with Chino's vocals being the way they are.
Yeah, but I think the same could be in terms of vocals. I don't know. For me, I guess it's probably going to be a bit sanctimonious to say, but I feel the same sort of with Coheed and Cambria. Because
he's got a very high.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it took me a while to get used to it.
It took me a while as well. I actually properly got into them, to be fair. Jesse's Girl. They released a single to the Rick Springfield song "Jesse's Girl" and called it "Jesse's Girl 2", featuring Rick Springfield. It's bizarre that a band that's a completely different band to the band that originally released the song, would release a sequel for it. But it's actually a massive tune and one of my favourite releases of this summer. So you have the chance to go and check that one out as well. But yeah, can't wait for the album. Pre-ordered it. Ohms by Deftones. And I just think they're one of those bands that I cannot wait to see again when this is all over.
And I'm going to definitely check them out as well. I know that's weird because they've been out for ages, but, I'm quite newfound. But
right, okay. So that was the listen to this segment, and shall we go on to our last segment of the podcast?
We shall. Let's do this. Would you rather? Number 5. Would you rather?
Our usual last segment.
Okay.
Mr. KB, this is the part of the show where I go onto signupgenius.com. They have 100 would you rather questions, and I get you to pick a number between 1 and 100, and I'll read out the would you rather question that lies within.
Happy
so
days.
Please pick a number between 1 and 100.
2.
2, okay. Would you rather have more time or more money? Now, this is a very apt question considering what we've been through this whole year, where we've had both more time and more money.
This question has frozen my brain because I'm thinking like, okay, let's narrow it down. More time means more time to make money, and more money means you don't need as much time to make that money. So
Exactly.
kind of cancels each other out. If
Cancels each other out. I guess more time in terms of longevity, in terms of getting things done.
Yeah, I suppose.
So if you want to get your music done or your YouTube videos or this podcast, we have all the time in the world to do it, but not necessarily the funds available.
Yeah, and if we had more
Whereas
money,
the other way
we would
around,
definitely
if we
have
had-
the more money because
If we had 24 hours or a couple of weeks or only a couple of months where we had all the money we desired.
we could quit our jobs and then go full time.
Yeah, then again, I think the whole thing about it is, what would you, in such a short time span, what would you spend that on?
But it's not
And
necessarily
would it be
saying
wise-
that it's going to
would
reduce.
it be like a knee-jerk decision, or would there be conscious thought behind what you're investing your money into?
I don't know. Is the question based on how much time I got now, or is it just is it reducing time? Because if it's just
I guess we can interpret it how we wish, but would you rather have more time or more money?
I think more money. I would go with that personally.
Yeah, well, I guess your financial problems. I mean, more time. You have more time, like you said, to earn more money.
But yeah, that depends on how lucky you get as well. You could either make enough certain money in that time or not. Personally,
I also a song from my first EP, which is this is a very subtle plug here, is called "Time Is My Sworn Enemy," which I wrote about the ramifications of not having anywhere near amount of time on my hands as I would like. So I gotta say, it is a difficult one. The fact is, if we're going with the fact that if you have loads more time on your hands, you can earn more money through said time, then I would definitely go for more time.
yeah.
But you're going for more money.
I'm going for more money personally.
Oh, good. I think that's the first split that we've had between us.
Yeah,
Could be wrong.
it is like
Right.
a very divided question.
Okay, another number, please.
3.
3. Would you rather have, this is going to go all Adam Sandler now, would you rather have a rewind button or a pause button in your life?
Oh,
That's a great question.
I think for me, rewind is a no-brainer because you could pause something and think about the situation there and then and the ramifications of it, but still make the wrong decision. At least with a rewind button, you can realize you've made the wrong one and then redo it. And if you do the wrong thing again, redo it, and the cycle continues until you're happy with the result you get in the end.
Well, the thing with the pause situation, obviously it's for wrongdoing, right? That's what it's made for.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not in that way, right? But I'm just thinking you can go into a casino or something, then pause, then
Yeah,
I
actually.
don't know, not even rob it. You can just put the ball on the roulette wheel. You can put the ball on that thing on the right number every single time, and you'll technically be playing fair game.
As well, though, if you're betting on football or anything else, you can rewind and then predict.
No. You can't. No, you can only rewind. You can't fast forward.
No, well, no. You look at the results.
You can't put bets in games that have already happened.
No, you watch the game of the football and then you rewind to place your bet.
Oh, I see. Okay, so when you get back to the present, you'll be a rich person.
Yeah, exactly.
Would it work like that though? Do you think?
Well,
The danger with time travel, right? Obviously we've all seen the ramifications of time travel in Back to the Future and stuff. Where you can just fade out of existence. With a pause button, I feel like it's a lot safer. And also, you can essentially, we're both going with the get more financial gain out of it.
well, I think if you're going to go back in time to place a bet, you need to be clever about it. You can't just I'm gonna place £1,000 down on the riskiest bet for it to happen, because you're gonna get your account banned. That's usually what happens. You place that, people think you're up to no good, and then they ban you, which is true because you know what the results are. So you gotta.
I also think that with if you live with regrets, right? If we're going away from the financial side of it, and you want to rewind to a point in your life to change it because it's not the proudest moment in your life, as opposed to any sort of financial stuff.
Yeah.
I would argue that shapes you as the person you are today.
I think so.
Yeah.
It goes back to that whole.
You learn from it and you develop understanding and empathy from your mistakes.
I don't think I'd use rewinding for that particular issue. It's more like if there is a disaster that happened. Like when I had my car accident in January, I could rewind time to not pull out of that junction.
That's true, but then again, when I had my car accident, I don't know.
But I'm spending more money on my insurance now.
Again, now since I've had my car accident, it wasn't my fault. Obviously, this car accident, as we, I won't get into it because it's all very legally complicated. But I have become a more careful and more a more sensible driver from that point.
I think though,
sometimes my detriment. Sometimes I'm too slow.
But if you retain your memory from rewinding, then you'd remember that if this happened, then if you did this, or like in my case,
Plus, no, I've got to say, in all seriousness, right, if it hadn't been me that crashed into this guy with, shall we say, a few problems with his car, right? He could have gone on to then horribly injure some other poor driver. Because basically what happened was he was overtaking on his side of the road, right? And he didn't see me coming directly towards him. So if it hadn't been me hitting him and then coming out unscathed, if I'd have rewound it and then gone a different route, he would have done the exact same thing to a different car with different occupants.
Yeah, I can understand that. In my case, though,
I'd rather not, change that specific element. I'd rather just.
Yeah.
I'd hate to bring the mood down, but it's true.
No.
I feel like the ramifications of going back and changing stuff are a lot more.
It depends. Like if it's a little mistake,
we'd all like to go back in time to the Wuhan province.
Yeah.
Later last year and stop that guy from eating a bat.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't be able to work from home. So.
But I just think pause in terms of clarity of thought, and if you want to really. Just from a non-financial standpoint, if you want to really think about something that you want to, say to someone, you could have loads of time to prepare it. You'd be like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day. You'd have all the time in the world to learn new skills as well. Again, going back to the previous point of time versus money, if you'd have paused it and then didn't unpause it until you spent years and years learning stuff, and then unpaused it at the exact point,
the one issue I see with pausing, say you want to learn something technically or something like that, if everything's paused around you, your computer wouldn't turn on, or you wouldn't be able to access stuff on the internet or anything like that. Everything around you would just be at a standstill. So if you needed someone to teach you or something like that,
you've got books, right? And you've got you can I self-taught myself guitar, So if there's no internet or whatever, then hey ho, I'll be able to just learn it by ear or whatever.
But if time was stopped, would those sounds of the guitar come out? How would you know that you're playing the right note?
Oh wow, we're really going in there.
I'm just thinking, if time was stopped, sounds wouldn't come out of the guitar.
Inanimate objects wouldn't be be sort of completely ineffectual. It would just be humans and people with biological beings would only be affected.
I'm still going to go with reverse time personally,
and I'm going to go with pause. So there we go. That's another contradiction between each other that we made. Last one, and then we're going to wrap this up.
Sounds good. Take it away.
Pick a number between 1 and 100, please, sir.
4.
4. Would you rather be able to talk with the animals or speak all foreign languages?
Talk with animals.
Talk with animals. Interesting.
I would wonder
what would you say to them?
I would say to my cat, "Why are you such an arsehole?" Um, that would be so weird if you were trying to talk to a parrot, though.
Go, swim up to a shop. Hey, what's up, bud? How you doing?
What's that?
What's up, Bat?
And then, yeah. I don't know. I was saying, what would happen if you try to speak to a parrot? It would just be a paradox.
You have this gift, Kieran. You're going to be able to communicate with all animal life.
Why are you such an asshole?
I would ask. I don't know. I'd tell leeches to stop sucking my blood. I'd tell slugs to fuck off my porch. And then
so much aggression. Why can't you just?
I want to talk to animals just so I could tell all the animals to fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. You want to talk to animals just so you can give out about certain animal species. My word.
It's like, do you understand what that means? Huh?
Oh dear.
Oh, I love myself. So I love to talk to animals, but in terms of like speaking all foreign languages, that would be very helpful as well. Imagine the amount of jobs you could land with that.
Yeah, I think foreign languages for me.
I think I would become the new crocodile hunter if I could speak to animals. I think.
Imagine you're in a foreign country and you were lost as well. It'd be so great to just be able to talk to someone just on a whim.
Do you speak English? Ah, no, I don't. Sorry.
I mean, to be fair, I don't even speak English half the time. I speak garbled gibberish.
I speak bullshit.
Well, you speak Welsh, presumably, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, you have the countdown on your channel in Welsh.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, how much Welsh do you actually know? Are you fluent, or are you like
enough to get through an exam with a D?
I can imagine it was. Did you go to like a Welsh-speaking school, or was it like an English and Welsh?
No, I went to a Catholic school that just happened to teach Welsh because it's on the curriculum in Welsh schools in Wales, I should say. Not necessarily.
Well, I learned. I did German and French at school.
There was never any opportunities for me to learn German. There was French and Italian that were in my school.
I didn't like French. I much preferred German. I don't know. I think German, it was more cognizant to my brain.
Have you ever seen that video of like all the different singular words in different languages, and then the German one's completely different? It's like says, sexy, sex,
Freitag!
Wow. No, I haven't seen that actually.
Yeah, they do have a funny. I don't want to say they have a
authoritative way of speaking, which I like. I was in Hungary as well, in Budapest. Barely anyone spoke English there, right?
Yeah.
So even ordering at McDonald's was a bit of a challenge.
Yes.
I want that one.
But yeah, essentially Andy Pipkin, yeah. But there was a server behind the counter at McDonald's who could barely speak any English at all. And I tried to say to her, look, you're English, my Hungarian, So no, I don't know any other foreign languages apart from German. But it would be very, very, I've got lots of friends from lots of different parts of the world, and just, well, again, probably if you want to talk in the wrongdoing sense, just eavesdrop on their conversations about me in their own language.
Just hold up a Google Translate to their conversations. Like,
what the fuck do you say about me?
Now, if you knew all foreign languages and you didn't tell anyone, that would make for quite an interesting life.
Eavesdropping, are we, Potter? Yeah. Okay. Well,
Eavesdropping on Potter? Lord of the Rings.
What's that?
Samwise Gamgee.
Oh,
He's the one who's eavesdropping, not Harry Potter.
Yeah, I mean, Half-Blood Prince. When he's eavesdropping against Malfoy on the train.
It's been ages since I've seen that one. Everyone knows Prisoner of Azkaban for this one.
Yeah.
I don't know, talk to the animals. I mean, I'd talk to that bat and say, why have you got COVID? Don't give it to us.
I don't know, because I'm dead.
I love how all your animal noises are akin to all the... You have a high pitched voice for most impressions.
No, he'd just be like, I don't know. So was that? Why did I get COVID? Because someone killed my parents.
I'm Batman.
What am I doing in China?
I guess I would talk to like. I'll tell you what. I would be paid a fortune by marine biologists if I could communicate with ocean life.
That's the thing. So yeah, you just say. Have you ever seen The Boys at all? The show.
Oh, well, is that the superhero one?
Yeah.
They're like it's like Watchmen.
Yeah, and they've got like a sort of dark comedic representation of real comic book superheroes like Superman and Aquaman and all those. And the Aquaman guy is there's a very gruesome scene in season 2, and I think that was the only scene me and Katie both had to look away at. And but it does fall into the whole thing about talking to animals, and just in that situation, tell the animal to go get out of the way.
Again, KB with his utter contempt for all animal life, calling them arseholes and telling them to get out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, loads of people say, well, they're just animals, they don't know any better. I'm like, well, now they do.
But yeah, mind you get paid a fortune teaching foreign languages would be quite a good job. Especially rare foreign languages. You know that guy on YouTube who's like a dialect coach for actors?
I think so.
He does these videos on Wide, brilliant videos, which are like him going through a certain actor's accent, like fake accent in a film, and highlighting what's right with it and what's wrong with it.
Yeah.
If I could be one of those people, man alive.
You could get paid.
Like a dialect coach.
Yeah, you could, like, release your YouTube videos, but in multiple languages.
Indeed you do. I'm going to go for foreign languages.
Okay, and I'm going to go talk to animals, so we're very, very divided in this segment.
Deliberate contrarian, Kieran. Absolute weapon you are. Yes. Right, we're going to end the podcast there. Thank you for listening, as always. Thanks for sticking with us, if you have done. We're now on YouTube. We've got all the podcasts that we've done up to this point available there. We have optimized segments available as their own separate videos. And you can find us at the Keyard Podcast on YouTube.
Totally safe for work.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Anything else to add, Kieran?
No, and if you want to see my solo work, that's on Kieran Benji on my YouTube, and Rob Scott is Facebook and everything. What are you mainly active on these days?
Rob Very Own Music on Facebook.
Okay.
And I don't really go on Twitter nowadays, but feel free to follow me there at RobV93. Obviously, you're watching this, if you're watching this live through Twitch, please give us a follow. Kieran Benji, please give us a follow. Even a subscribe if you're really, really generous. I haven't got that set up yet.
Yes. And then in the future, when we get more popularity, we may host it on our standalone.
We shall see.
Yeah.
Anyway, nice to meet up again and chat, KB.
Absolutely. And look at the bloody sun. It's we may have to find a different time to do this because the sun just is relentless to me.
Right, I think I'm going to go to bed for about an hour.
Okay.
To rehearsal tonight. So
get some rest. I'm gonna just chill. I think I went to the gym this morning and I'm feeling paralyzed. So yeah.
Yeah, dudes.
All right.
Well, yeah. So, Kieran, you want to sign off?
I want to sign off. And listen to me very closely. Goodbye.
And?
Oh yeah. Sorry. Lights out.